What's up, guys? So as you can see, I have bought another Lexus LS400. Still have the black one right here, and I'm going to explain my plans for it because I saw this on Facebook and it piqued my interest and ended up checking it out. Everything checked out and I had to have it, so I'm going to go ahead show you around what it looks like right now. It's not going to look like this for very much longer. I've had the car for a while, maybe like a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks now, and I've been daily driving it. As you can see, I am painting the lower cladding on the rear. It's going to be like the same color as the black LS400 there. I've already done some things when I bought it. The trunk was full of water and the AC condensation was draining into the passenger footwell over there, and what that was for both cases was a clogged drain. So I took my air compressor, put it up to one of the hoses underneath the car that drains, and blew it out, and about like a gallon of water came out of the AC hose. I don't even know where all that water was stored the whole time, but I'm glad it's gone. Now the AC drains on the ground and the passenger footwell stays dry. And in the rear, I cleared out the trunk drain, and then as well as all of the rubber seals along the car were pretty dried out, and so was the trunk one, and I could see spots where water had been getting through on the trunk seal, probably due to the drain being clogged. But I went over to Walmart and found some of this RV Care rubber seal conditioner, and it was actually on rollback, so it was on sale. I think it was like $8, and I still have half a can left, and I've done every single rubber seal on this car. All of these, the sunroof seals, you can see like that is a super soft rubber seal now, and before it was dried out and hard. So I highly recommend that stuff. It's a preventative measure and just restoring as well, because it brought a lot of the rubber on this car back to life, and it also made it look a lot better. It's a lot deeper black now, so I highly recommend that. The trunk and AC has not leaked since. I just put a coat of clear coat on that, so that's the final coat there, and it'll be ready to dry, and I'll take all the masking off. But as you can see, this car is pretty clean. Let me go see where the key is. So the outside, as you can see, it's like a silver. It's almost beige. It's kind of a silver that has a little bit of a beige hue to it, and I really hate it. But the reason I'm painting this here is to try to convince myself to not paint this car and just leave it the silver, and then I'll just repair. You can see there's clear peeling because it sat out in the sun for a while under the previous owner. So a lot of the clear is peeling. So what I would do is leave the color underneath, but just wet sand this smooth, and just wet sand all the clear off, and then re-clear the trunk, roof, and hood, and then one of the doors needs it, and then polish it up and blend it, and then ceramic coat the whole car and get it looking really nice. You can see there's a few chips. There's a chip there, a few over there, so I would have to repair the chips as well, but that's no big deal, and that wouldn't be too noticeable. And then this cladding down here, it kind of looks more of like a dark gray on camera, but in person it's like brownish tan, and I hate that. I don't like tan or like beige cars, it looks too grandpa for me. So, and also with the wheel setup I want to do on it, I want a little bit of a darker color on the car. So that's what this is back here, and I'm really happy with how this has turned out so far. So I'll peel this masking off here in a second and show you what it looks like, and then that'll kind of decide if I'm going to actually paint this car or not, depending on how the color looks. But I'm still going to do orange as like my accent color, like I did on this car. Still going to paint the brakes orange, got the little orange dice caps. I've got my LZ MFG steering wheel there that's got orange on it. I've got to get a cover for the gear shifter there, because if you look at the shift knob in this car, it is really gross and torn up. But I found a company that makes a cover, so I'm going to get a black cover with orange stitching to match the wheel. So yeah, that's kind of the plan with it there. As you can see, the car has kind of the same thing as with the outside. I thought it was gray in the listing, but it's more of like a brown, like a brownish gray interior, which I hate. I just wish it was one or the other, and I just can't, either stick with I don't know. Either way, this interior is getting swapped with the interior out of the black car because I plan on keeping this one forever, if not a long time. So I want it to be perfect, and I know that if I sold this car, or if I sold that one with the black interior in it, I would regret it. So I'm in the process of doing an entire interior swap, which I will have a separate video on, but you can see the whole rear of this car is removed. So I'll be interior swapping the two, swapping them back and forth, and then I'm going to sell the black car. But you can see the interior in this car is actually in really great condition. I just don't want the grayish brown interior. Not a fan of it, so I'm going to get rid of it for the black. My plan, I'm going to try to leave it stock as long as I can, which is probably only going to be a few months, if even. So my plan is to get coilovers. I'm going to go pretty low on it, probably not as low as this car, because I want to keep this one like a solid, you know, daily driver. Not gonna, I mean, everything on this car is going to be done right. This car, you know, there's a little bit of sketchy stuff. The previous owners didn't take care of it the best. But this car is in perfect mechanical condition. It has a check engine light, but that's only because the cats got stolen off of it, and the people who stole the cats cut the O2 sensors. So I'm going to go to the junkyard and I'll get some new cats and O2 sensors and put those on there, and it'll be good as new. I'm also sanding down the bumper here because you can see there's lots of pitting and just sun damage. So I'm going to put some Bondo on it, filler primer, get that all sanded down, and maybe color match it or just leave it if I end up painting it a new color. My two options are, I want to paint it Millennium Jade, which is one of my favorite colors on cars. I always wanted to have one that's Millennium Jade. It's a Nissan color, but I'm kind of starting to lean away from that, and if I do paint it, I'd probably just paint it silver, which it already is silver, but I would repaint it silver that doesn't have the beigeish tint to it, and that would, you know, fix the clear issue, the color issue. It'd fix all of it. I was planning on painting it myself. I've already got paint quotes for it. It's way too much, so I would end up painting it myself if I do that. But yeah, this one is fully optioned out other than the air suspension, which is pretty cool. It has a six disc CD player in the back. It's got the Lexus phone, which I love. I'm definitely keeping that even when I do the interior swap. The Nakamichi premium sound system. You can see the steering wheel is pretty aged, but I'll put an aftermarket steering wheel in that car before I sell it, and I'll keep my LZMFG one. Also, the dash doesn't work. It'll light up, but none of the gauges work or anything. The mileage does still work, though. The mileage still counts. This doesn't work. It'll work intermittently. Whenever I'm driving, it'll just come on randomly, but it only lights up the backlights. These screens don't work. So I got to figure out the reason for that. I don't really know what it could be, but yeah, I'm gonna have to start taking stuff out of this car to go ahead and get this one interior swapped as well. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking like. Doesn't have the first aid kit in the back, but it does have the tool kit. I had to move some stuff over from this car into this one to make sure it had everything. But the antenna works on this one. That's the phone antenna there. I'm going to remove that. But the antenna works here. It doesn't on my other car, so I love how this one goes up and down when the car goes on and off. Let's see. The back, you can see there's a few tears in the seats, but not too bad at all. My plan for wheels on this car, and actually this is one of the reasons that it first caught my eye and I love it so much, is these are OEM optioned wheels that only a few dealers did back in the 90s. It's really hard to find info on them, but Lexus did a few sets of them. This is one of them. There's one that has a little bit more of a lip. There's a silver set that I think has like some fake hardware on the inside. But yeah, they made a few of these sets throughout the years of the early model LS400s, and it was a really rare dealer option that's pretty hard to find. This car actually had that option I found from the previous owner's pictures, but it didn't come with the wheels, which I was really sad about. But I do love these wheels. You know, they kind of have that BBS vibe, which they might be made by BBS. I mean, it says made in Italy right there, and they feel like a quality wheel, whatever it is. I mean, obviously it's an OEM wheel. I haven't taken them off yet to check behind there and see who they were made by, but you know, they have these like fake center lock caps, and they're in pretty good condition too. A few of them have curb rash, but I can fix that up, and I might end up sanding the curb rash down and, you know, take some what do you call it, steel wool to it, and even them out, Tires are decent on it, but it definitely needs new tires at some point. So that's kind of what we're looking at with this car. I've got lots of plans for it, but I kind of just want to make it, kind of restore it first before I start doing a bunch of aftermarket stuff, get the interior swapped so that I can get rid of this car, and that will give me enough money to get this car where I want it and also help with swapping the motor and Focus. So that's kind of the game plan, but I figured I should make a video on this because I'm already starting to do stuff to it and I haven't even introduced it to the channel yet. So that's the plan with this car. I'll be going to the junkyard to get a trunk for this one because I want to keep my gold badges off this car and the spoiler, because the spoiler is really rare. I got it from the junkyard and it was an aftermarket thing for the LS400, and it's like basically impossible to find any information on them online. So I really want that back to maybe eventually put it on this car. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I want to do some white wheels on it at first. I'm going to go with a pretty aggressive setup. 10.5 wide wheels. I've already got tires for them, but I'm waiting to buy the wheels until the car's lowered and everything. Got to shave the fenders, you know, tuck the wiring harness. I'm going to get adjustable front upper control arms. Got to raise the motor. I'm going to do a different exhaust setup on this car. The previous owner did the exhaust setup on this one. I'm going to do a different one on here. That car's catless, which I hate, and so is this one, I guess, but they both smell terrible because there's no cats. So I want this car to for sure have cats on it because it's going to be my daily driver. It's got 180,000 miles on it. I'm the third owner, which is not bad for a 94 at all. The guy I bought it from was really cool. And I've got, you know, there's all the owner's manuals in there, everything. So, you know, I am going to modify this car and quote-unquote ruin it, but I'm not going to do anything permanent that, you know, would ruin it and it can't go back. I still want it to be, like, have the heart of an LS400, you know, luxury car. I'm going to take care of it like an old man still, no matter whatever I do with the paint, ceramic coat it, polish it, keep it all nice, take care of it with, you know, try to stick with OEM parts for the maintenance and not just buy whatever's cheapest like I did with that car to try to get it to work. Which this car leaks nothing. The underside of it, there's like an itty-bitty leak in the front crank seal, but I honestly I mean, it's so tiny, it looks like it leaked in the past. Maybe it doesn't now, so maybe it was fixed with the last timing job. I don't know. I'd probably have to clean it and check it out, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the update on this car. You'll see that in another video. I'm not going to take that off right now, but I'll probably make a separate video on the interior swap and, you know, anything else I decide to do to this car. And before I sell it, that one should be for sale hopefully within the next month. So that's pretty much it for this video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.